Hi, welcome to the Return Homestead. Today I need to do something with the amount of eggs that I've got coming in now. Mike really likes pickled eggs, but the recipe that I used to use included sugar. So what I tried this last month is to take the brine out of my spicy zucchini pickles. I didn't throw it away. Once we emptied the jar, I just simply put boiled eggs into the brine and stuck them in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 weeks. They turned out great. Now, we don't eat a lot of sugar, and you could put a monk fruit allulose in there to sweeten them up if you want. But these came out great, and I don't see it's necessary to do that. So don't throw away your brine. So this recipe calls for 1 quart of vinegar and 3 quarts of water. I currently have that on the stove heating it up. Now, the reason why you're going to heat it is so that your salt dissolves. It's going to go into the refrigerator after that. I'm not canning these up, but it is a great way to keep your eggs fresh without freezing them, which I've done as well, or freeze drying. I've done that too. But once the eggs start coming in, they come in by the boatloads. So you need to come up with a creative way besides giving them to neighbors, which we do, we share. So you need to come up with a great way to use your eggs besides cooking. I used to use all the extra eggs to make a pound cake my grandmother always made. If you haven't caught that video, check it out. It's the best pound cake, but it's full of sugar and white flour, things we're avoiding. So I've kind of made this recipe up. It works for us. Don't be afraid to try things. You don't always have to follow a recipe per se. You just got to make sure that what you're doing is going to preserve. In other words, if you're using vinegar for canning food, it has to be 5%, and there is vinegar now showing up on the shelves less than 5%. I do make fruit vinegars, and I could use that, but without a pH test strip, I don't know what the acidity is in that, so better safe than sorry. Now when it comes to salt, you can use pickling salt, you can use a kosher salt, or you could use non-iodized table salt. It doesn't matter as long as it doesn't have iodine in it. We don't even buy that. We buy pink salt, we buy kosher pickling salt, or something like that without iodine. So the recipe that I'm generally going after is the one that I make my spicy zucchini pickles from, or regular pickles from. And it calls for 1 cup of canning salt. That'll go into your vinegar and water mixture to get it all dissolved before you start putting it in the jars. And you're going to want to stir this up. So while that's working, it's time to start loading my jars. Now I'm not sure how many jars this will fill by the eggs that I have boiled, but if I need to boil some more, I will. No biggie. This is dill that I harvested last year, and I'm almost out. I like to use the bouquets, mainly because they look nice, and one of those will go in each jar. Or if you like more dill, put more dill in. I'm also going to put garlic in, and this is garlic that we grew, and I throw it in the freezer to keep it fresh. So I'm putting some garlic in. Now the chilies, I could use my my homegrown chilies, but the chilies de árbol, I get those at the grocery store. The heat level on that's a little bit higher than a jalapeno, so I'm going to put a couple of those into each jar. Or you could use red pepper flakes, either one would work. I'm also going to add some black peppers. Whoops. About a teaspoon. And then I'm going to add some organic brown mustard seeds. All of these things are optional, all but the salt, vinegar, and water. And I'm putting about a teaspoon in. Turmeric. Don't get this stuff on you, it stains really easy. Turmeric's going to give it a nice, pretty golden color. Plus it's good for you. All right. Now you could add onions to this, you could add whatever you want, but I'm just going to add the eggs. So I'm going to start loading my eggs in. So each quart jar held 1 dozen eggs. So it's a great way to use your eggs. Now that the salt has dissolved in my vinegar water solution, I've turned the heat off and I'm going to start loading my jars. So the jars are now loaded. Now this will make enough for probably 4 more jars. There's quite a bit in there. Considering you used, let me see, that was 4 quarts of liquid. This is only 2 quarts plus eggs. So what you can do is take that brine, put it in the refrigerator, then it's already ready. All you have to do is heat it up and add it to the jars. So it's super simple, super fast way of taking care of a lot of eggs that are coming in. So you just need to cover these with a lid, put them in the back of the refrigerator, let them sit 2 to 3 weeks, and they're ready to go. So you need to be able to plan ahead of time if you want to use these. Mike likes to eat them in his lunch. It's pure protein, it's great. The easiest way I have found to peel eggs so that they are come off clean. I have tried everything. I've been told to use baking soda in the water when you're boiling them. Don't do that. It makes a horrible mess all over your stove. Baking soda, that was a no-go for me. I've tried many different ways, fresh eggs, not fresh eggs, to get them done. The one way that I know that works for me is to boil them, and as soon as they're done, take them off the heat and put them in ice water. The ice water has worked for me to pull the eggshells off cleanly. Well, I hope this helps you take care of some of the eggs you have coming in, because now chickens are laying full bore. This works for us, and it's a quick snack without sugar or flour. So if you're just looking for a good snack, a good lunch, something that's easy to pack up, something that most people like, this is a good one to keep. Remember, it takes 2 weeks for them, at least 2 weeks for them to pickle. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up while you can. It really helps us out more than you know. Until we see you next time, thank you and God bless. Bye-bye.